Hi, I'm Coach Lisa, founder of Mostly Well. And if you're like me, you've dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur because you wanted more freedom. You wanted to be your own boss, you wanted to control your time, and you wanted to stop being limited by somebody else's ideas of your capabilities. When I was laid off from my tech job after 11 years, I was determined to not go back to the corporate world. I had spent nearly 2 decades building a career for somebody else, and I wanted control over my own future. So I started my wellness business Mostly Well, and along the way, I learned a lot of lessons about entrepreneurship that I wish I had known sooner. My goal is to share those lessons with you so that you can avoid expensive mistakes and get to where you want to go faster. Entrepreneurship can be incredibly rewarding. You get to set your own goals, you get to decide how you're going to pursue them, and you get to build something that reflects your own personal values. Every single dollar that lands in your bank account is a direct result of the value that you have created. But entrepreneurship is also surrounded by a lot of bad advice on the internet. So, anybody who tells you that you're going to get rich quickly or build a completely passive income stream with little effort is selling a lie. There are people who have built enormous wealth through entrepreneurship, but when you look closely, their success comes from a combination of three things: it's luck and timing, hard work, and leverage. Luck and timing matter because none of us control the family that we're born into, the opportunities that we encounter, or what the market will do over the next decade. And a lot of the most successful entrepreneurs, they were born into middle class or wealthy families. They had access to expansive networks, and they had opportunities to go to good schools. Okay, so those are things that we can't control. But hard work is something that we can control. Hard work matters because if you think about the most successful entrepreneurs, they are still deeply involved in building their businesses. So, whether that's Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Rihanna, Oprah, all of these people work hard. They were founders of companies, but they didn't start by sitting on a beach collecting passive income. They worked for years to achieve their vision. So, hard work is going to matter in your success as an entrepreneur. The third thing that leads to successful entrepreneurship is leverage. Leverage matters because wealth is built by creating systems, owning assets, and scaling value beyond your own time. So you can't become wealthy either working for another business or working for yourself if you're not building systems that allow you to increase your wealth while you sleep. So this is where entrepreneurship differs from a traditional corporate career. A corporate career offers more certainty. So there is a high certainty that you will build wealth in a corporate career, especially if you're taking your earnings and you're putting them into investment accounts and you're maxing out your 401k or opening up Roth IRAs. Those are all ways to build wealth and they're pretty reliable. Entrepreneurship is a little bit less reliable, but it offers more leverage. So, in the corporate world, your income is largely tied to your time. As an entrepreneur, your earning potential is limited primarily by your ability to create systems, build assets that you own, and scale effectively. So, if you're an entrepreneur, what should you focus on? Obviously, you can't control your luck, as we mentioned previously, but you can control how hard you work and you can control your ability to create leverage, which is what my program, The Well Run Business, is all about. But here's the challenge: how do you work hard and create leverage without burning yourself out? Because that is exactly what started happening to me. When I left the corporate world, I was exhausted. Most of my days had been filled with back to back Zoom meetings and endless to do lists that couldn't realistically be completed, even if I had worked 80 hours a week. I always felt like I was disappointing somebody, and that was really hard on me mentally. I was used to being a high achiever, so feeling like I was a constant disappointment was a struggle. Then, when I started my wellness business, I hoped that things would be different. But I started to find myself wearing many hats in my company. I was creating content, I was writing emails every day, I was managing my own finances, running launches and promotions and handling all the operations and trying to serve clients at the same time. And at some point, I realized I was spending less time solving problems for my clients and more time managing the machinery of my own business. So I was heading towards that same path of burnout that I had experienced in corporate life, and I wanted to get a handle on that quickly. Because as a personal trainer and a women's health advocate running a wellness business, I knew that this wasn't the life that I wanted to build. I wanted to build a business that supported my well being, not one that consumed it. I wanted to prove that it was possible to be successful in your career and still prioritize your health. And I wanted to be that example for the clients that I was serving. After making a great salary in corporate and still feeling miserable, I realized that money wasn't my most valuable resource. Time was my most valuable resource. I wanted to spend my time on things that fulfilled me in work and in my personal life. I didn't want to spend it doing administrative tasks that were draining me. So I started building these systems because I was leveraging systems thinking skills that I had from my background as a user experience design leader in software and my master's in information architecture. I had these systems thinking skills that I had built up over my career. And so I started building those systems for my business. And then when AI continued to evolve, I began incorporating AI into those systems. The result was a business that ran more efficiently. It now requires less manual effort from me. I still work hard. Like I said, working hard is still important, but this has given me more time to focus on what matters most to me. I spend more time with my husband, with my dogs. I travel to see my family and my friends. I'm able to exercise every day. I spend time outside, out in nature. I meal prep on the weekends to make sure that I'm eating healthy. So I get to take more of my time to do the work that is meaningful to me within my business and also do the personal things that fulfill me. And I'm removing myself from that path of burnout. So that's what I'm teaching in the Well Run Business. I'm going to show you how to build systems, leverage AI. This isn't all about AI. It incorporates a lot of AI, but it's also fundamentally building systems that streamline your business. I want you to create a business that supports both your success and your well-being. So before the next video, I want you to think about what parts of your business drain your energy and what do you wish that you could spend more time doing? Because when we architect your business intentionally, you're going to be able to shift your time towards what matters most to you and let systems and AI handle the rest of the administrative tasks and the minutia. I'll see you in the next video.